Good evening. Welcome to this evening's meeting of the Fairmont School Board. It is Tuesday, February 27th. Roll call is all board members are present. Our superintendent is out of town on business, and so we'll carry the ball. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody review the minutes?
I have it. I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 13th meeting as offered.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The agenda as presented, can I get a motion?
One change.
One change?
I believe you're the only one that went to the high school breakfast to report on.
Oh, right. Okay. With that change,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Celebrations. School Board Week recognition. Who's going to speak to us today?
Hello. We have
Hello.
something, hi. We have something we would like to read before we give you what we have brought. It takes strong schools to build a strong community, and our school board members devote countless hours to making sure our schools are helping every child learn at a higher level. They make the tough decisions every month and spend many hours studying educational issues and regulations in order to provide the kind of accountability our citizens expect. So on behalf of Education Minnesota Fairmont, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for all the time you devote to our students, staff, and community. Last year's gift was created by the elementary school art department.
Thank you.
And this year's gift was created by the junior, senior high school art department for you.
Thank you.
And so, thank you again for all that you do for us.
Thank you very
You're
much.
very welcome.
You guys wrap your presents better than I do for Christmas.
Do you actually wrap them, or does your wife?
This is better than I do.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
very nice.
Oh, that's neat. I like that.
That's very nice. Neat,
Very neat. Thank you.
Thank you very
very
much.
special.
thank you. Okay, school board calendar. First off, enrollment update. We are down 7 students at the elementary and 1 student at the high school. And a few things to note on the calendar. This coming Friday, March 2nd, school board members will be meeting with the fifth graders at the elementary for lunch to get their thoughts. And then staff welfare will meet next Wednesday on the 7th. And then we will have our next school board meeting on March 13th. Any questions?
The only
Okay.
thing I would like to bring attention to is the tour Wednesday, March 14th.
Oh, correct, you're right.
That's available for, it's a meeting. We start with a meeting at the Martin County Library. And this is to see a Southern Plains Educational Cooperative and kind of hear the information that's coming along with that, with adding the reconstruction or the what we can do to refurbish Lincoln School and make that part of the Southern Plains family as for school, and then be able then to close the Winnebago site. And that's available at 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. There's 2 different times to kind of get with everybody's schedule. We'll start with a meeting at the library and then walk to the Lincoln School or drive to Lincoln School. And but Sarah Middlestat will be presenting a lot of information for our boards, and that I've got another thing I'll kind of bring up a little bit later with that, with my meeting representation report, so.
And that's a biggie, and it's significant, and it's open to
Absolutely.
the public, so
Yep.
really
But I mean, it's
good
open to the
idea.
public, it's open to anybody, so.
It affects and impacts all
And
of
it's
us,
all,
so
all the boards, so
Please come.
everybody's, yep. There's discussion on the facilities, and then, like I said, a tour of Lincoln School. And I just would like to draw your attention to that the building is now closed. I mean, the Lincoln School is, so don't wear your best clothes. You're gonna, you might have a chance to get dirty, so. So we're
And
working on that, and it's not heated completely as, as a regular building, so. But I just wanted to bring your attention to that, so everybody can kind of put it on your calendars and make plans for that.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Financial business, donations, Dan?
Yes, I'd like to introduce the following resolution and move for its adoption. Whereas the First Congregational United Church of Christ has donated $750 to the school district Angel Fund for school lunches, be it resolved by Fairmont Area School Board to gratefully accept the gift.
I'll second that resolution.
Okay, we'll take a roll call. Dell?
aye.
Danielle?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Nicole?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. And moving on to financial reports. Julie, you gonna take that?
Yes, I have the financial reports. In your packet, you should have the transfers wires for February 9th to the 22nd of February. Nothing really much to bring your attention there. And then we have the check register, the draws from the Commerce Bank are the first part of your report. Don't have anything, want to bring your attention to that. The only other thing would be check number 6,845, Higher Image LLC. There was a background check that was done. And then Minnesota Motor Bus, 6,850, that's just a monthly bill. And kind of a special one is on check number 60860. That's for the state wrestling meals for students and adults. We have our wrestling team going to state, so that'll be on the docket, I think, for Thursday, right? So good luck to them, but, okay. That's all I have for you. Any questions or anything on those? If not, I would make a motion to approve the wire transfers for February 9th, 2018 to February 22nd, 2018, and payment of the February 27th, 2018 bills.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. There's no old business, new business. We have some policies to approve.
Indeed, we
Dell?
do. The Policy Committee met on February 15th and reviewed a number of policies, most of which did not include any revisions since our last review, and a copy of the meeting agenda is in your packet with a list of all of the policies that were reviewed. There are also copies of the 5 policies that include our recommendations from the MSBA to change, and they are Appendix B through F. The revisions that we've made require full board approval, and they're outlined in Policy 501 with the school weapons policy, 513 student promotion, retention, and program design, Policy 525 on violence prevention, Policy 526 on hazing, and 532 with the use of a peace officer and a crisis team to remove students with IEPs from the school grounds. So those are all very important and significant policies that have and require some changes. Those are presented in B through F, but I would make a motion to carry or to approve the following revised policies, A through E.
Second.
All those in favor?
Wait, I have something to
Okay,
tell.
one question?
I just wanted to bring up on, it's actually Appendix C for the student promotion, retention, and program design. One thing that we talked about extensively in our meeting was the gifted and talented program. It is specifically by state statute that we as a district adopt guidelines for assessing and identifying students for participation in gifted and talented programs. And then it lists the guidelines and what they need to include. And so we as a district are going to try to be more proactive in getting that actually implemented and starting, because it is state statute and we need to follow that. And there was also noted in state statute that students that we have a policy and standards in place and procedures in place to identify gifted students for early start of kindergarten or first grade. And we need to, as a district, be looking at that as well.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And school calendar, Nicole?
Yep, the calendar committee has been meeting extensively and has presented a school calendar for our review and approval. To note, school starts for 7th through 12th grade on the 4th of September. The K through 6 will be having their back-to-school conferences on the 4th and 5th of September. The last day of school is set for May 31st. And one thing that the calendar committee tried very hard to do this year was to ensure that we have, if the elementary school has a day off or an afternoon off or whatever it is, that the junior high, senior high school has the same calendar schedule. We've heard feedback from parents that that would be more convenient for families and more helpful, and so they tried very hard to do that, and this calendar follows that, with the exception of the back-to-school conferences that we have at the elementary school. Otherwise, if your student has a day off in the E6 and you have another student in the 7-12, they should all be on the same schedule.
Okay.
And thanks, there was so much work that goes into that.
Yes.
Creating a calendar for a house of two right now is difficult for us sometimes. So trying to accommodate and facilitate everything is it's a yeoman's effort to get it accomplished, so.
Actually, I should clarify, I don't know that E follows the same exact calendar. It might be a little different. So it's K6 that will follow the same calendar. So K through 12, that's the calendar we are adopting.
But that is very important for families to have that consistency in their household, so they all know when they're coming and going and they're together. You know, it is very hard, especially if you depend on daycare. I mean, that's very hard.
Yeah.
When you expect somebody to watch, you don't have that older child to watch the younger one or whatever. It can put a stress on families.
And I would like to thank the calendar committee for working on this, and I don't know specifically everyone that was on that calendar committee. I wish I did, because I would like to mention them by name, because it does take a long time to put this together.
Takes a lot.
So with that, I move to approve the school calendar for the 2018-19 school year.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Move to personnel, employment. Julie?
Yes, Principal Rosen is recommending that Leslie Wokosh be hired as a long-term substitute for the first grade to replace a teacher who'll be on a medical leave. Leslie's a graduate of Concordia College, where she earned her MA degree in teaching. She has experience substitute teaching in various schools in Martin County. With that, I make a motion to approve the employment of Leslie Wokosh as a long-term substitute for the first grade at a salary of BA Step 1, effective on or about April 29th, and extending through the end of the current school year until the regular teacher returns.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Second one, Tyler Garrison, Director of Building and Grounds, is recommending that Aaron Goodall be hired as a custodian 1 at the high school effective February 28th, 2018. Aaron is filling the position currently held by Ned Adams, but that will be vacant because Ned will be assuming another role with the retirement of Ron Morris. So there were 16 applications received for this position, and 7 candidates were interviewed, 2 of which were in-house. So I make a motion to approve the employment of Aaron Goodall as a custodian 1 at a salary Step 1, effective February 28, 2018.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And one more?
One more. So, with the resignation of Todd Sokolsky as the head baseball coach, the position was advertised in the paper and on Facebook. Activities Director Matt Mahoney is recommending that Jerry Brooks and Don Waltich be hired to share this head coaching position. Jerry and Don have over 20 years' experience in the baseball program and have been part of the varsity staff for the past 11 years. They've helped guide our team to over 200 wins, 3 state appearances, and multiple conference championships. With this addition, it'll be a very smooth change, or very smooth transition for the baseball team. So I would make a motion to approve the employment of Jerry Brooks and Don Waltich as head baseball coaches at a salary of step 4, head and assistant stipend split 50-50, effective for the 2017-18 school year.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, board committee reports. First is breakfast with the high school students. I attended that meeting. It was with a few of the seniors. It was actually a group that Kim Niss meets with fairly regularly as an advisory group. They provided feedback to the food service director. I think that's an ongoing process. They gave us feedback regarding the new flex time opportunity, and it'll be helpful in trying to look at potential changes for next year to make it more valuable for the students. And just got their thoughts about as seniors, what their overall experience has been. I think it was all seniors that attended. I think Kim will transition some other grades into that role to provide valuable feedback. So every time we meet with a student, it's a interesting and fun and valuable encounter. So next meeting is Operations Committee.
I didn't bring my notes, so I hope I remember all of these. Perhaps you can fill in some of the blanks. But most of the meeting, or the bulk of it, was spent in discussions with a parent who had concerns about the new lunch system at the elementary school, where the child places their thumb on the reader, and then that gets their information. So there've been a few inquiries and some discussion. We're trying to work that out with the parents as best we can, but overall, it seems like the majority of people are happy with the way that is going so far. Tyler Garrison was there. We discussed some upcoming projects for the summer. He gave us an update on some roofing issues. We seem to still have a bit of a problem with the area right where the Performing Arts Center meets up with the regular school building. There's been some leakage problems there, and with the front windows, I think a lot of people, if you've been by there after it's rained, somehow we end up with water along that front hallway. So we're trying very hard to get that fixed this summer here. And we also talked about the cooler and the freezer at the high school in the kitchen there. They'll be both replaced this summer with food service dollars, and they were actually describing the process to us where they actually have to remove some of those windows in the commons area in the upstairs there, because these coolers are so large there's no way to get them up the stairs, so they have to be, the windows have to be removed, and then the coolers have to be lifted up and in that way. So it's a delicate process. And am I forgetting anything else?
I think that's pretty good.
That was
Yeah.
pretty much covered it.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Curriculum Committee?
Dell, we met on the 15th, and Dell reviewed the policies that we need to today for the meeting. It was quite a lengthy meeting because we went over 21 policies, and most of them didn't require changes, but they did require our attention to look through. So that was basically it. Not really exciting, but a necessary thing that we do,
Okay, well, thank you.
But very important.
and very important. Yes.
And very exciting.
Yeah, riveting.
I had a spec board meeting last night. I missed that on the agenda, that I wasn't on there to list
Okay.
to speak, but I'd like to tell you a little bit more
Please do.
about our meeting last night. With the regular meeting, we did talk about, a discussion was held on the joint powers agreement and amendments, the facilities agreement. We talked about a resolution for facilities. We did also make a motion to have Kraus Anderson start the process to get bids and start to see what's going on, how we can work with the school, and how we can fabricate Lincoln School. And then we talked a lot about the discussion on the all-board meeting coming up on the 14th. And like I said, that's open for all board members. Welcome everybody to come. Anybody's got an opinion on that. But other than that, I got a page on frequently asked questions that Sarah put together. There's a lot more information. I'll pass this around if you want to interest. I'll maybe get a copy to everybody. You know, Joe's always so good when he comes to a meeting. He gets them all ready for me, and I didn't have it done. So maybe I'll just get everybody a copy of this so that you can go through that. But just Sarah Middlestad had put together some questions and answers about some of the information that was brought up prior to today. So be great information for everybody. So, okay. That's about
Okay,
it.
so just to reiterate, our boys wrestling team will be going to state this Thursday.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Anybody that can attend, please do so.
There is a fan bus, but I believe today was the last day to sign up for that. So,
Well, if you can't attend, why be with them in spirit and
And I think
Go
they,
team.
or you can listen on the radio too.
their first,
First conference championship for Fairmont Wrestling since 1985. First time that, this is the 6th year that Fairmont and Martin County West have been together for wrestling, and it's been a very successful combination. Sherburne actually went in 1987 for team wrestling, and that's the last time a school from here was able to accomplish that. And they also had 9 individuals qualify for the individual portion of the meet as well on Friday and Saturday. So there'll be opportunities to cheer each of those 3 days.
okay, very good. Thank you. Any other business?
Just a thanks. The gifts are not necessary, but greatly appreciated, so thank you very much. We appreciate it.
very much so.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Good.